how you tell the difference between something that's good and something that is like withstands time. Like even in music, like Michael Jackson is like a great example. Like
I feel it. Like, you know, I'll hear a song and I'll say, when this person made this song, they knew. They knew it was it. This was it. It's like, you know, like Bohemian Rhapsody. They told him, this is trash. We'll never put this out as a single. And
it's
he was
too
like,
long, right?
Yeah, and he was like, haha, let's see about that. Because he knew, you know, it's like when you make something, it's like close to godliness. Like it's like you are tapping into another dimension almost. Like you're connecting to that ether of like
perfection almost.
Yeah, and so I can just feel it. When you see it, when you hear it, when you wear it, whatever art it is, you know that this is forever. This is something forever.
I like that. Bohemian Rhapsody is actually a really good example because the producers at that time, I think the music was only like less than 4 minutes long.
And they kept saying, give me a single. This isn't a single. You can put this on the album, but this isn't a single. And he was like, I will not. And look what happened. You put that on anywhere, and the whole room breaks out into like a musical. And so,
what are your thoughts, Kim?
I think it's like, so a popular phrase in the art world is steal like an artist, and it's basically taking a similar approach to like a copy paste format, but then adding your spin on it. Like it's like, you know how in writing they say plagiarizing but plagiarizing is if you actually take like that specific word by word by word versus like somebody who then mixes the word for their own style. Like it's a popular phrase in the art world. Steal like an artist. I think it came from Andy Warhol. I think. Yeah, again, I think so, I think Andy Warhol. And that one makes you think about like the living the outstanding art. And the outstanding art is the type of art where the artist will go to steal from to then create their own ideas from it. So like steal like artists. You take this, let's say someone made like a hot air balloon, look like the best hot air balloon in the world. Someone else takes it and they add next to a couple of characters.
Yeah, like all art is imitation, or like there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, and that's what it's kind of like. It's like that's kind of like what we learn as babies as well. Like from when you're a baby, you kind of like imitate until you get to know what fits, like what exactly is fitting. So it's like art is based on, especially I guess in the beginning stages of artists, you gotta kind of like imitate what is inspired from until the voice is then heard out of the voice is heard and saw, right? Because art saw and art singing, so the voice is heard after doing it a couple of times, and then I think that's where like you discover like some form of identity within
your own style.
Yeah. Yes. Because you imitated some work, and then you're like, oh wait, this is what I did differently, and then it's like, okay, wait, I did that differently, then to this work too. What happens if I could combine these two together?
It's like your own fingerprint,
Yes, very much.
There's always like a renaissance moment for somebody that you can be inspired by a certain philosophy, but your renaissance moment comes when you have discovered your own uniqueness and identity because you were inspired by previous authors before. Now you have a clear idea what you learned from that, but how can you make that your own identity? And I think that's the hardest thing to do. Why? Because it's like, think about this, like when we're younger, we can't project what we're going to be in 20 years. That's hard. Now think from a creative side. It's like,
everything's changing all the time in a sense, right?
It drives me crazy when, like, for example, you think about Da Vinci. Like, what went through his mind to do so much? Like, what are your thoughts about it? That guy was everywhere. He was doing everything and anything. Like I just like, man, this guy must have had a clone or something because he was working on, on drawing.
He was He was an insomniac. He didn't really sleep.
Yes, that's
So
right.
he had double the time. And he was delusional.
He
From,
cheated.
Yeah, right.
He was delusional from not sleeping, and so.
You think that's where like his creative side
Absolutely.
got like abstracted even to a higher dimension?
I think a lot of the like great artists, you're just like geniuses, you're kind of teetering on the line of insanity sometimes.
That's a very good point of view.
Yeah.
Because you definitely have to be insane, which means like you're trying different things, right? Instead of doing the same thing expecting different results, you're always trying something different. But that's actually pretty interesting, the time he probably invested those nights where everyone is sleeping. But also I believe that's what makes people very successful. While people are sleeping, there's somebody out there working even harder, and preparing the next material for like that hasn't been seen yet.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's like when you're in that zone, it's like you create more. It's like you do have to like double time. Because he wasn't able to. You're just able to work more, and when you work more, you produce better works. And I remember I was saying this analogy, like one person, there's these two classes.